Claire Danes and Ben Lee were young and in love, but then she philandered her way over to Billy Crudup? I do. It was 1997, and 17-year-old Claire Danes was already a huge name in Hollywood with cult classics like My So-Called Life and Romeo and Juliet already under her belt. And while she was starring alongside heartthrobs like Leonardo DiCaprio, she had her sights set on a young musician who was also making a name for himself. Ben Lee had left Australia after impressing the likes of Sonic Youth's Thurston Moore and Beastie Boys' Mike D, and headed stateside to release his music to the American market. At the age of 18, he released his sophomore album, Something to Remember Me, which had caught Claire's attention. She shared a love of indie music with friend and Little Women co-star Winona Ryder, which is how she ended up asking Winona if she could set up a little meet and greet with Ben. The pair either met at an LA party or at Claire's 18th birthday, but considering that birthday party was probably in LA, maybe they're one and the same. Either way, legend has it that Ben showed up on her doorstep on their first date with a banana in hand. That's not a euphemism. He handed her the fruit and said, "I'm really concerned for your health." Claire fell hard for his endearing, eccentric charm. The pair lucked out during the first year of their relationship. Ben wasn't touring, and Claire had just completed all of her projects. They were free to be young and in love without the scrutiny of the public eye. They traveled the world together, from road trips to Big Sur and Joshua Tree to international adventures in Spain. It was so unsensational, Ben said. It was just two people traveling around getting to know each other. Well, Ben had been working on making a name for himself when the pair met. By the time that they were a year in, he was appearing on soundtracks for major motion films like Something About Mary. That year of anonymity allowed them to solidify themselves as a couple. They were able to laugh off the focus of the public and not take it too seriously. The pair leveled up their relationship in the fall of 1998 when they moved into a large Soho loft together. But Ben never worried about public opinion, saying, "I've always thought celebrity to be more about respect than about people being, gods because they have their picture in a magazine or they're on TV. I guess that's because I come from a bit more of an underground aesthetic. I take it all with a grain of salt." Claire would ultimately take a 3-year break from acting, opting to finish up her education at Yale. She returned to acting in 2001, appearing in Igby Goes Down. And in the summer of 2003, she was interviewed by IGN, where they asked her about her relationship with Ben, specifically if the two had changed a lot since they started dating. "Yeah, we kind of raised each other in a way. We're not bored yet. I can't really explain it," she said. When asked how distance impacted the relationship, Claire said, "We follow each other around. It's a priority for both of us, I think. Our lives are quite erratic, and we provide a sense of constancy and consistency. Yeah, we're each other's anchors." And they were each other's anchors. At least until that fall when it was reported that Claire left Ben for her stage beauty co-star Billy Crudup. You know, the movie she was in the midst of filming when that IGN article came out? You know, Billy, who was dating a very pregnant Mary Louise Parker at that time. Gossip columns were rife with tales of lovers scorned, but according to Ben, God had told him to end his relationship with Claire. He said, and I quote, "As I got more serious about my spirituality, Claire and I started to grow apart. I even had a dream where a voice said, 'God is separating you. Go willingly.' I woke up and I was like, wow, it really does have to end." And maybe it was God, or maybe it was his subconscious who knew all along that Claire was a cheatin'. 'Cause it's never just pancakes. Unless we're talking about Leo and Kate, then. Regardless, Ben had no ill will towards Claire and even said that the two remained great friends. And Ben had another lady friend on his mind anyway. Ben and longtime friend Ione Skye, yes, I gave her my heart. She gave me a pen, Ione Skye, had met back in 1996 when he was invited to her house for a Christmas party in LA. But she was 26 and he was 18, and they were at different spaces in their life. Fast forward 10 years and Ben was no longer with Claire, and Ione was a single mom to daughter Kate. After they both attended the Marie Antoinette premiere together, where Ben says Ione flirted with his friend Jason Schwartzman, he was the one that ended up talking to her all night. Their first date was watching the John Lennon and Yoko Ono documentary, during which Ione looked over at him and said, "I have high hopes for us." And high hopes she did. The two were married on December 29th, 2008 in India. They welcomed fetal collab Goldie on September 24th, 2009. As for Claire and Billy, you think I'm not going to give you videos on those two? Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked this one. If you did, please save and share it with your friends to help spread the good word. If you didn't like it, though, well, please remember that those are inside thoughts. We also have stickers, pins, and bookmarks for sale, unless Canada Post is on strike, and then we don't. Good day, and may the cult be with you.